And what power did this person have? And how does his power relate to imama? Number 4, why was Surah Al-Jinn revealed? And what do the jinn mean when they say, there are some of the humans who used to come to us looking for help, and we did not want to help them. Number 5, what does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mean when he says, I did not create the jinn or the ins except to worship me? And can there be Muslim jinns and Christian jinns and Jewish jinns and non-believing jinns? And what's the story of the jinns who came to visit the 5th Imam in front of Abu Hamza Thamali? Number 6, how does the 12th Imam relate to the world of the jinn? And number 7, which man's strike in one particular battle did Allah say is greater than the worship of every jinn and human until the day of judgment? And how did they honor this man's grandchildren on the 10th of Muharram? Let me examine this and examine this topic in complete depth. When you come to Nabi Sulaiman alayhi salam, as we know, Nabi Sulaiman is a prophet which we share with Christianity and Judaism. Sometimes when you're with your non-Muslim friends, try to open up to them about the prophets who are common between us and them. Don't be people who are enclosed with your own believers. Don't be a group of people who are only preaching to the converted. Talk with your Christian friends and with your Jewish friends. Tell them that we believe in Sulaiman in the same way you believe in Sulaiman. Nabi Sulaiman was seen as the 3rd of the kings of Israel. Until today, there is a major war in the world about Sulaiman and David. You find until today these kings of Israel have an effect on the lives of people. Nabi Sulaiman alayhi salam, Allah gave him the most powerful kingdom. Everything around him was his servant. The animals were his servants. And that's why in the Quran, when Allah names a chapter Naml, Naml means ant, because the ants could speak to Sulaiman and Sulaiman could understand the ants. If Allah wants to, he can allow any of his chosen servants to speak the language of the animals, the language of the birds, the language of the ants. Nabi Sulaiman, the surah was named after the ant because of his interaction with the ant. He would look at the way the ant would be. He'd look at the way the ant would walk, the way the ant would talk. And the famous narration says that one day he would look at the ant. When he sees the ant leaving his hand, crawling to a local pond, and then there was a frog on the edge of the pond. When there was a frog there on the edge of the pond, the narration mentions that Nabi Sulaiman saw the ant enter the mouth of the frog. The frog swam, then emerged back out, opened its mouth, the ant came back out. Nabi Sulaiman took the ant. He said, oh ant, I want to ask you something. He said, yes. He said, I just saw you go in the mouth of a frog. And the frog swam at the bottom of that pond. What happened? Said, oh Prophet of Allah, every morning I take a crumb of food and I go in the mouth of that frog. The frog swims to the bottom of the pond. At the bottom of the pond there's an animal that relies on that crumb because Allah has chosen me and that frog to look after the rizq of that animal at the bottom of the pond. Therefore you found that Nabi Sulaiman alayhi salam, Allah named the chapter to show the animals were his servants. The wind was his servant, correct or no? As in you imagine the wind is your servant. I can now say to the wind, wind, transport me please from Mombasa to Nairobi, correct or no? The wind was his servant. Likewise, what were his servants? The jinn were his servants. The jinn would have 3 jobs under Nabi Sulaiman alayhi salam. The first of the jobs, they used to build houses of worship for him. The second of the jobs, they used to look after the architecture of his country. The third of the jobs, they used to build the reservoirs in his land. The jinn would work for him. They would build different monuments, different centers of worship, different areas of reservoirs to make sure there was no danger for them. And you found that Nabi Sulaiman therefore had the most powerful kingdom until when the Hudhud came to Sulaiman. And Sulaiman said to the Hudhud, why have you been late? Because you know everything has to work to a precise order. One may argue that Nabi Sulaiman's kingdom is a microcosm of the macrocosm that is Allah's kingdom. Yes? The microcosm, Sulaiman was showing how Allah's order all has to work. Nabi Sulaiman looks at the bird. Why were you late? The bird says, I saw a lady who has a kingdom as great as yours. Yes? He said, who? He said, they call her Sheba. She has a kingdom as powerful as yours. Nabi Sulaiman says, and what do the people of the kingdom worship? He said, they worship the sun god, although the people are good people. So he turned around and he said to them, okay, very well, I will send this letter to Sheba. And he sent a letter beginning Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. As you know, in the Quran, every surah begins with Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, except Surah At-Tawbah, yes, Surah 9. The 114th mention of Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim is in this surah. When he writes to the Queen of Sheba, he writes, this is from Sulaiman, and this begins Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Nabi Sulaiman therefore would write this letter, and the letter reached Sheba. When Sheba received the letter, what happened? When Sheba received the letter, she said, it seems like an honorable letter. Let me send him some gifts. If he is a man of God, the gifts won't make a difference to him. If he is a man who's chasing power, then my gifts will be a good bribe for him. Yes? When the gifts reached Nabi Sulaiman said, what's this? She tries to bribe me with gifts? Tell them that we'll come and invade their land if they are oppressing their people. The Queen of Sheba, when she heard this, she recognized that the best option, instead of fighting Nabi Sulaiman, the best option is let me go and visit Nabi Sulaiman. When Nabi Sulaiman heard that she wants to come and visit, what did he do? He said something very interesting. A prophet of God can sometimes prove his prophethood through a miracle, correct or no? Nabi Musa with the magic, Nabi Isa with the medicine. The Queen of Sheba, how do I prove that I'm a prophet to her? I need to get that throne of hers, which is made out of the finest jewelry, yes? And the finest gold. So he asked his kingdom that was around him, he asked them, who can bring me the Queen of Sheba's throne? Now, do you know what that means? That means I ask one of you, which one of you can bring my laptop? I left it in London. Who can bring me my laptop right now? Some of you will turn around and say, I'll bring it through FedEx, correct? Some will turn around and say UPS. Some will turn around and say Korea. I'll say, no. I want to see my laptop in front of me now. One of the people who first replied was a jinn. قَالَ عِفْرِيتٌ مِنَ الْجِنِّ. Yes? Ifrit in Arabic, you see, if you're from the Iraqi community, if you were naughty as a young boy, like some of us were, if you were naughty as a young boy, they would call you Ifrit, yes? Ifrit is the extravagant, audacious one. Quran says in Surah 27 verse 39, قَالَ عِفْرِيتٌ مِنَ الْجِنِّ أَنَا آتِيكَ بِهِ قَبْلَ أَن تَقُومَ مِن مَقَامِكَ. One of the jinn turned around and he said to him, I'll bring you her throne before you even stand up. Do you know what he meant? Nabi Sulaiman used to go into his office every morning. He'd leave around midday. He'd sort out the affairs of the country. One of the jinn turned around to Nabi Sulaiman and said, listen, before you go home from work and before you've even stood up from your chair, I'll bring you the Queen of Sheba's throne. Yes? That jinn highlighted what? That a jinn can take any shape, any form if they want to, can travel like water, vapor and wind, and get to any position they want. Can they inhabit a prophet of God? No. Can they pretend they're an imam? No. But can they come in the form of an image? Yes. That Ifrit from the jinn said, قَالَ عِفْرِيتٌ مِنَ الْجِنِّ أَنَا آتِيكَ بِهِ قَبْلَ أَن تَقُومَ مِن مَقَامِكَ. I'll bring it to you before you even stand up from your place. وَإِنِّي عَلَيْهِ لَقَوِيٌّ أَمِينٌ. And I am someone who's strong and trustworthy. The ulama say, why does he say I'm strong and trustworthy? Strong because her throne was so heavy. You need to be someone with muscle to lift that throne, yes? Ameen, because it's as if he winked to Nabi Sulaiman and said, and don't worry, I won't steal the jewelry from her throne. I'm a good jinn. I won't be rude to you. Yes? So when he said that, what do you say? وَإِنِّي عَلَيْهِ لَقَوِيٌّ أَمِينٌ. And I am someone you'll find who's strong and trustworthy. it showed that the jinn had an immense power, yes? That the jinn were able to say to a prophet of God, I'll go from this country to Yemen. I'll pick up Sheba's throne within a couple of hours. Now in those days you had no Concorde or no flight, correct or no? In those days it'll take you ages. He said, don't worry, I'll bring it to you and you will not have stood up. But while the jinn are powerful, if the human wants to, they can overcome any jinn. A human, if they want to be weak, they can be weak. If a human wants to be strong, there's no jinn on this earth that can hurt them. Because the next ayah highlighted this, yes? قال الذي عنده علم من الكتاب, said the one who has some knowledge of the book. علم من الكتاب, someone who had some knowledge of the book. أنا أتيك به قبل أن يرتد إليك طرفك, I'll bring it to you before you even blink. Before he blinked, the throne was there in front of him.